Be like the old dances where the guys ran one way and the other.
Fun of that day.
Well, yesterday came in. yesterday.
Good lights on.
Keep me busy.
I see on my laptop.
Yeah, the Rowan is done in some different areas.
Yeah, noises.
People.
There we go.
And you and your kids?
Daughter's home from college until the end of this month. We're enjoying having her around.
My niece is president of Caltech.
Okay.
Lives in, her parents live in Bloomfield.
That's the existing.
But I want to write in. So I texted Kate and said, you know, how things come of doing. It's amazing how quickly she got back and. And mom's home.
That's one thing I know, like, that thing that's real bad
Yes.
and real food. And I,
No, that's all I got.
so this time is.
Here.
I apologize.
Oh. One of the kids in our family. And I think Steve.
Did Steve talk to you about laptops? Yeah, I was supposed to ask everybody. Okay, well,
This is.
he asked me to remind him, so, and I haven't seen him since.
Oh, okay. Oh. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Last time with my mom. This time it's-
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is for Nancy Brody. She's retiring next week.
So I got a couple of things.
Oh, man, right there. So we know that that's done. It's gonna happen.
Which one's this?
I mean, I'm happy for her. She wouldn't so much fun 80 years ago. Thanks for that one. Thanks. Did you sign with your usual gusto?
I wasn't here yesterday, but I was out of town.
Always creative. Yeah, right. I believe a kid him, it doesn't matter what. he-
Yeah.
Yes, we did. Nothing other than fine.
My young son.
I think it was just the, I believe that's, it
Thing up.
was just the. This consumption.
Yeah, John is there. I'm not sure what they've changed or whatever, but.
You ready? Leads over next to. It will be stored.
Yeah. You see
All right, let's get going. Call the meeting to order at 7:06 PM.
Yeah.
Okay, we need a motion to accept the minutes of the December 7th meeting.
Second.
You have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Call the roll, please.
Joe Atkinson,
Aye.
Alan Curran,
All right,
Amy Crandall,
Aye.
Angela Hawken,
Aye.
Roxanne Mark,
Aye.
Tom Skibby.
Aye, motion carried. All business. 746, 742B Parker Solar Project. 251 to 267 Breezeport Road. Site plan review. Welcome.
Well, I'll sort of play it by ear. So all we've done that's new is we provided a letter sort of addressing some of the comments that came up with the hearing last time.
Okay,
Most importantly, the one about the trees and the sort of the.
Would you get more? The one guy said he had more comments. Did he ever get anything to you?
We never received anything in writing. Happy to respond to anything anybody wants to put on a piece of paper or an email, suggest it go through the board, obviously,
Right.
and then we're more than happy to provide a
Yeah.
response to it.
I had sent asked about a week and a half ago. And he said hadn't received any comments, so.
Okay. All right.
But we would assume we get it through the board rather than have it come independently to us.
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Well, that's what we had said.
have you got anything? For this at all?
I sent this all to the county. I haven't heard anything back from the county and I haven't heard anything from any public resident.
Okay.
Okay.
The lead agency stuff was sent out, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So we gotta wait 30 days on that.
Yeah.
So really, the holding pattern until we get that done. Before we can start moving forward on anything.
But
So we'll wait to hear back from whether you heard from the other
Yeah,
the departments and then
Yeah.
you'll
And then we
let us know when we'll
yeah,
schedule a
we
public
can move
hearing.
forward with seeker and that.
Okay.
Yes.
You said you sent a letter?
I did.
Okay,
I have 4 or 5 copies.
I don't get
I think it was
it.
an email.
It was.
That was, last, like, a week or so after the. meeting.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
So would you set the date for the public hearing at the next meeting probably, or? Do you need to have a meeting to set it, or maybe would you possibly set it in between meetings or something like that?
We're gonna start really reviewing the next meeting. We should hold it at the next meeting.
And that way you get the comments
To
in,
get it up front.
right, that'll probably make sense. So all the public hearing. The February meeting. Which would be. February 1st,
February 13th.
yeah,
Yeah, so we do it, let's do it the next meeting, because then we'll get that up front
Okay.
rather than,
or we can get everybody's comments and we can address them. Before we start doing seeker.
during
That way we can-
deliberation.
Okay,
and all that, so. We can address the concerns.
so it'll be public hearing in February, and then March, you'll do the seeker.
Well, we'll start it.
We'll start
in February, we'll start it,
yeah.
we'll start it.
And. Not sure we take 1 month to do. We just don't know
Sure.
as we go along, so.
Okay.
So we need a motion to, do we need a motion to set the public hearing? Yeah,
Yes,
yes, so in a motion in a second, set the public hearing for the. February 1st meeting
Trying to push it.
at 7.
at 7 P.M. So moved.
Second.
Motion second, call the roll, please.
Joe Atkinson,
Aye.
Amy Crandall,
Aye.
Alan Curran,
I,
Angela Hawken,
Aye.
Roxanne Mark,
Aye.
Tom Skibby.
Aye, motion carried. So if there's anything that comes in, correspondence, the questions, make sure you get it out to us and make sure they get a copy, so
Okay.
they understand what's going on. I think that's it. You guys tonight.
Yeah, just real quick, the letter that we gave,
Yeah.
it just responded to, first, it corrected the
The zoning.
wrong reference to
Right.
the, yeah. And then, we addressed the sequestration, the lost trees versus the amount of carbon reduced by, the solar panels reducing fossil fuels for generating power. That's in there. And then there was also another question about the bond. So we provided a bond estimate as well.
Okay.
But again, if there are any questions at all, just send them on over and we'll, if we get them in writing, we'll put an answer in writing and.
And once we have the public hearing, get all that done, and then we can really start
Digging in.
digging in.
Great.
Okay,
All right, very good. Thank you.
hey, great. We'll see you next month. We're gonna send notices.
Yeah, we'll get,
Say 250 or 500.
let's do try.
500.
Good project.
I'll ask Penny for the others.
Yeah.
All right, next item, new business. Clearview Excavating, Howard and Derek, and Skyber, 352 East Franklin Street, site plan review, equipment storage area. Come on up.
I'm Howard. My son Derek. Clearview Excavating, we're about a year and a half into business now. Our location is in Erin, up on top of Federal Road. We're looking to set up an equipment storage site, which is gonna be nothing more than a chain link fence. Gravel parking lot in it. To just store equipment, trailers, excavators, skid steer. We got 2 dump trucks, may store one of them there. Mainly, our bulk of our business is Horseheads, Amara. So we're looking to not have to cart them to Erin. Every day we're done with them. That's kind of a quick oversight of what we're looking to do.
So you're trying to say.
Alan Edwards owns the property. He is in the process of trying to sell it, so we have talked with the potential buyer also. And they're both have no issues at all with it.
Okay,
So it'd be no buildings whatsoever. If we need a building, we'll rent one off him,
Mhm.
the existing building. Take any questions?
So some of this is in the area where there'll be water in the stream.
No, we're not. We're on the high area. If you remember where the sheds were, being sold. That's kind of where we're at. So if you look at the area they mow. It starts coming up, here, levels out, we're up on a little bit of the high side, along the stream, but I don't know exactly how far, we're quite a ways off from it.
Okay,
and Greg did the GIS map of the floodplain there,
right.
and probably based on elevation, I would assume that it's out.
Yeah. That's kind of, we didn't want to be low, so we
Right.
opted to take the higher area right there.
The permanent area for easement for drainage. Is there pipes underground? or is
No,
that
it's just open swale.
Open swale, yeah.
Mhm.
So that can be altered in any way.
Yep.
The other issue I have would be utility easements. They're building right alongside that, the utility poles that go down through there for,
So we're we're between the last 2 poles on his property. And we're just outside of the main power line.
right, but I don't know, it doesn't show on this map.
Yeah.
The width of those easements. I know you've got the high powered one, but then there's a communications line that runs down there and you're running basically parallel with that.
Yeah, the survey map shows a nice easement. So I'm not sure if there's
Where does it show nicer?
follow the overhead wires, up north of the, proposed, storage area. It says,
Drainage easement.
it's just north of the drainage easement. It says, nice easement.
Easement, yeah.
So there's some type of easement in there.
Mhm.
Okay, so it is.
Alan works for NYSEG. That don't probably mean nothing, but I would think.
Okay, so that is the
Keep me
line
out of
there
it.
that
Yeah, so usually there's.
whether or not generally the communications lines would run in probably in that because. I mean, it's the funny thing is it lands right on the poles. That's the. Unusual situation there, but with a map this size, it's,
Yeah, exactly.
that line could be 6 foot
Hard to
wide.
scale it, yeah. Yeah, true. Obviously, dig safe would be, even before we set a fence pole. Dig safe would be called from Mercury Utilities anyways.
Yeah, they don't.
And if there is a concern with NICEAG easement, we'll even chat with them. Whoever we need to make sure
Yeah,
we're
like I
not
said, there's,
interfering with anything there.
it's the communications there.
Yeah, because we can narrow it and make it longer. If we needed to, but right now that's what works best for us.
Yeah, this scale drawing here, that line that's down through there is basically center, correct? So it's kind of.
Mhm.
You know, what you got here and what you're saying is like really two different things.
What are you looking at? I don't have it in front of me.
This is what you submitted?
Oh, so that's a creek.
Yes,
I got you. Yeah,
and you're basically coming off of that point,
off that corner. I see where you're at.
and that does fall within the flood area. That's why one of the things I wasn't sure about.
If you got a recommendation for us to narrow it, up to 50 instead of 60,
You didn't put elevations on this, I don't think, yeah.
yeah.
What about the distance from is there room to move the whole? Stockade closer to the south property line?
Yes,
How many feet
So-
away is that?
so. Based on what we scaled out the night we were with him, we probably have there's probably another 50 feet we could move south,
So you're
which
saying
will
you're
bring it
60
away from the creek.
You're 60 feet off the property line.
We're 60 feet, well, we're farther than 60 feet, but we're 60 feet off from the brush and the trees and stuff that are in his property line. So. There's room to move it still within the clearing that's there. Move it south, and that'll bring us away. that'll
other
bring that
issue-
corner away.
One of the other issues I have is that you're opening this up to gravel and all that type of thing. And my consideration would be the sediments. Because if anything that's an open area like this,
Mhm.
and you start to get runoff and all that type of thing into this. And it goes down into that creek, you're talking about going into a national wetland
Mhm.
and the village pond and all that type of thing, so it's kind of. To protect that as much as possible, it would be to stay away from that,
Right,
or whatever, you know,
I agree, yeah.
especially like I say, you go to open
Is there,
ground.
is there any of you got recommendations how far to stay away from the creek? I don't know if it's written.
It's probably.
I mean, Tom, you've been around there, you know,
Well, if we had an elevation on this, we could see how far,
how high we are.
how high we are compared to the
Correct, yeah.
the creek. Cause it might not, I don't know the distance from the creek to the grade.
Correct.
On that. Cause that was.
You probably could look at that's a,
You don't have any maps you can pull up.
stream that's has elevations on it. I assume you could go through the FEMA.
Did I, see, I put it off for a minute myself, I don't know if there's elevations on that or not.
It says it's an elevated, and I don't know, and I assume that that's why those points are on this map, is that that's why they
Mhm.
scale it off.
Showing a photo at 899, then it drops down to 895. But I have no. That's the website where the maps are. Elevation.
Well, I had it in here.
The FEMA maps,
Well, no, the GIS also has a.
if you go to GIS, doesn't really give you the elevations.
Yeah, it should have, it should be
I think
A link.
ours, well, the towns has it.
Oh, okay.
Oh, here we go. ARGIS. Let's see what we got.
Oh, I know that, I didn't see that in there.
Let's see, there's the airport. No, what's mine? I don't know if I have a login.
No. No, I don't know about that, it shouldn't be.
I do, but I don't know what it is. Cause I just come in and use the office when it's at home.
Now let me try something here. I'm moving.
I mean, we got a link to the FEMA apps and stuff like that, I'd like to try to
Well, I
find it.
did a format for that.
Yeah,
And it's not showing the elevation at the, out of the floodplain, it's just showing the cross section.
yeah. That's what I was thinking it would be. Oh, that doesn't really show the cross section. Well, it shows your cross sections, you just gotta find it on a different.
Well, it shows elevation on it.
Yeah, oh, okay, like the 904 and stuff like that.
Where does that fall? That must fall right in behind them buildings, the existing buildings. That's gotta be the lowest area.
No, they actually, I was looking at the wrong end of that. Probably 897 or something like that would be the. It goes from 897 to 895, I would guess, because I would think that this is the easement for the town.
What's that?
See, 895 is here, 897 is here, and that I think is the.
No, that's the village.
The village, I meant. excuse
It's
me.
not an easement. That is.
The village, yeah, that they use for the,
Yeah, but it is.
it is the
It
village,
is
yeah,
in the village, yeah,
yes. Village proper, let's put it that way.
right. It's not only in the village, it's the village.
It is the
property, right. Correct.
Wow.
So while they're figuring that
Yeah.
out, I'm concerned about these houses along here
Mhm.
because this is a business zone that backs up to residential.
Correct.
So these people are now going to be looking at what in their backyard.
So there will be a chain link fence with equipment storage.
Okay, and
I
I
see
think we
that.
just wrote that it would need to be more
what I
than just
see.
a chain link fence. It would have to be something for privacy.
On that
The
side of the
village
line.
line, and that's
Well,
about the
so
backside
that
of,
these people are not, looking at trucks in their backyard, basically, either that or heavy, you could use
Yeah,
It's
there's
just brush and
landscaping
trees.
trucks.
so there's
yeah, right now,
There's brush and
the
trees
creek,
there already.
the creek itself has a lot of brush and. all
Yeah,
that
there's a lot of
stuff.
natural,
Natural buffer.
yeah, because I really don't see the
Even in
houses.
this time of year,
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
thick.
It's like,
I was looking at that yesterday.
This is just the center line of the creek.
Yes,
And so it's out, but the creek is really out in here.
right. The flood area is
Yeah.
actually out wider than that.
The red is flood way, you can't do anything there. The blue is flood plain. As it narrows, as you go south, it narrows.
Yeah.
Here it's
Oh.
not quite as bad,
So that means based on elevation.
basically.
That-
Here somewhere.
correct, because it climbs uphill.
Climbing down.
Yes. Farther south you go, the higher it gets,
Yeah, I mean,
which is where we're trying to be. We're trying to be up on that.
up on the flat, because you don't want to be parking on it.
We don't want to be parking our equipment in a mud hole, in a water hole.
Not only that, but if it's sloped or anything like that, you're gonna
Correct.
wake up one day or morning and find the truck down in the creek.
Yeah. Yes, we're trying to stay as high as possible.
The trail.
And Alan's flexible to where we go. We just, that's kind of where we laid it out on the map and, if your recommendation is to move south a little farther, that's what we can do.
One of the things too is, I know you probably don't, you're not anticipating on that, but there is no access on Route 13, everything would have to go.
Correct. We'll out on the Franklin.
Franklin.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yep.
And that's
And,
right
and the other
at-
thing
it's right
in
at
there
the
also, if you
roundabout.
look at, oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm thinking out loud, it's right at the roundabout.
It is, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. That's the whole reason we really selected that site,
Mhm.
visibility. I mean, it's good advertising and that's part of our other deal in there is we'll put a compliant sign. I've already talked to code about what sizes you can do and all that. That'll be on the fence itself.
Banner. Mhm.
We're gonna refer this or no?
I don't, it's not, yeah.
I don't think we can do seeker on it then,
No,
just an
Truth
amendment.
be told, he's parking equipment on property. Why is he even?
Because it's a PUD.
Yes.
no, it's
Okay.
not.
No, it's
No,
not no
they
more.
changed it to
Oh, we
business
changed
We had changed
Correct.
that, yes.
The whole
It's just
corner.
site plan review is all.
when they,
You know what I mean?
So,
when they did the auto place on the other corner.
Okay.
Yeah, you were there
The
that day.
new-
Chuck,
yeah.
you looked it up for us.
the new person who's buying,
Jeremy, he's the one that runs the FedEx trucks out of there. I think his name is Jeremy.
okay, what is he basically gonna run it the same way?
Correct. That's the reason he wants to buy it, because number one, he don't want to move, and number two, he don't want a lot of changes there. So I talked to him first, and then I talked to Al. It's not a done deal yet with him. We're
Okay.
close to done, but it's not
Right,
done yet.
right, okay.
So we have a loss in the both. Because obviously, we don't want the fence and gravel down and they sell in 2 months and.
Right,
So basically, we were giving approval based on. He has to be out of the easement for NICEAG,
Mhm.
and then. I think they're okay on the floodplain
And out of the red zone.
because of the elevation, we show the floodplain. Going away just a foot away, so that means there's a change in elevation there. Drastic,
Correct.
Yeah,
so.
stay on top.
Yeah, we're going to. But for two reasons, it's more visible,
Mm.
you know,
And it's flat.
and it's flat, and it's not wet.
well, I guess the issue is it's an accessory use. Without a principal building.
Correct.
That's a problem. So, but there are other principal buildings on there, so.
We're probably gonna rent a garage off him. He has someone leaving. So we probably will rent one of them underground
Okay.
garages off him. We're already in discussion with that.
Any board members, any more questions concerning this? So. We give them approval, it would be, and just. Stay out of the floodway, which I think he will,
Mhm.
and, don't encroach on the easement to NICEAG. That would be the two conditions of approval.
Okay. And we're not in a hurry, so we can get NICEAG involved. I don't have an issue.
Like I
with that.
say, the other thing too is it may not necessarily be NICEAG that those pole line that. NICEAG may be running the high power. I don't know if that's power that runs down through there or if it's communication.
Mhm.
Verizon.
Edwards has got a shed built right underneath.
I just see
Yeah,
that,
yeah, he does have a shed built right underneath the power line.
Yeah, well,
oops,
Yeah,
when I was a kid, we used to store stuff in the tower. Foundations when there was a nursery there.
Yeah. What was
that's
his
right, you
name?
know that pretty
No
well.
goes.
Bill.
So board members looking for a motion to approve this.
I'll make a motion. to approve this.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Call the roll, please.
Okay, Joe Atkinson.
Aye.
Amy Crandall.
Aye.
John Fern.
Aye.
Angela Hawken.
Aye.
Roxanne Mark.
Aye.
Tom Stevens.
Aye, motion carried.
Thank you,
Thanks,
guys. Thank you.
Get a log into that site so we can get in there easier.
Okay, on to be new business, facility construction. 3145 Lake Road site plan review. Will be addition to a backside of existing building.
Neighbor, you're just talking to these guys not that long ago.
What? It's not for me. It's for Nephew's Valley. This is Tom Knapp. If everybody doesn't know who he is.
We see you on TV.
He needs
You're
more
that- you're that-
space.
You're that guy, huh?
Good for him.
Did you do an updated site plan?
Yes, you should have it. I actually did a complete updated survey. Did you get a copy of that? Greg was supposed to,
It's here.
But it shows the,
this is the new one. This is what it's going to be.
okay,
Yeah, did you get that copy of that? That's the brand new one.
I didn't get that, one. I got Your
That's,
existing
that's
survey.
the old one. This is the new one. We can have that. I have no issue. That's the only copy I have, but I can get more copies.
Can you run copies that real quick?
Yeah.
When you done.
Yeah, the other one is the old one.
It's basically,
But this is what's there now.
Okay.
Okay. So all I did was, I just figured for the sake of argument, you might want to see it to scale. What it's gonna look like.
Right,
So I made the new one.
right. That kind of thing. Because what you drew on the paper showed 15 feet off the property line, but if you
It
look,
doesn't work there.
if you looked at the building. Existing building, it was 9.2 feet. And
Right.
it just didn't scale out right, so yeah, but
It wasn't to full scale. That was the problem with that drawing.
it's, we're used, you know, I
Yeah.
understand.
Greg
No.
called me, he goes, this
No.
isn't right.
yeah, and this is now, it's showing 18 feet. 15 and a half feet.
Yeah, 15 feet from the property.
Well, this is what she just gave us.
Oh,
No, I didn't get that.
oh, we didn't get there. Yeah. I don't have that.
I got an old copy.
We just got this from,
She just ran to go get them because this is what she just handed me and it's the old one with the
Yeah,
shadow.
you got the
Oh, yeah.
old one. That's why I just showed time to do
You
it.
can do
This is one that I.
Walked out,
Yeah, that one just
What's the
ignore
date
it.
on
Right,
the
so that one's not it. This is the one that she
November
just handed
13th.
me.
She's
the
got it
old
right there.
The newest one is January 3rd?
November 13th.
Yeah,
They're-
you
they're
got
all-
a new one. I don't know.
No, the receipt date.
one. Yeah,
January 3rd.
Should be, yeah.
Okay, so.
Does that make more sense to you now?
I think I have it.
That was the one we got, yes.
Yeah, you gave it to me.
I'll give you back your original.
Thank you.
Hmm?
It's the only copy I got.
January.
You have the right one.
Okay, now that you have the right one, it's easier to
The
tell what
girls
we're
have the
doing.
right
Yeah,
one.
okay,
The guys,
we're good.
we don't know.
you got the right one? Yeah,
I
you got
do.
the right. Okay, I don't. Thank you.
No, he has the old one only. So, yeah,
So this one says 15.
Right, but it's, the thing is what they were saying is that
Yeah, the 18.
this 18 and a half feet and scaled out to 9, and if that would shove that corner forward. And didn't fit but now they've done it to scale and figured out where it's gotta go, and now it makes that 18 feet off of that.
yeah, makes more sense.
Yes,
Why all the property lines are on an angle.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's weird, yeah.
everything's, yeah,
all the way down.
you're
through there.
squaring up, you're squaring them.
Well, yeah, well, maybe the
Square to the
road.
road, but not to the property line.
Well,
The road's what's wrong.
the road is actually wrong on this drawing. The road actually pitches this way. So they show it square, but it's not. If you go down there,
That's
you can,
not square even.
yeah, you can clearly see that it moves one way. So,
They're 110 feet at the road and 75 in back, so.
He meets all his setbacks for a business zone
Mm-hmm.
area.
You're 9 foot, 9.5 feet between the building and the existing building and now that.
That's existing, so that's fine.
Right, but the question would be is as long as they've got travel way and stuff like that, they can get their. I don't know where your doors and all that type of thing is looking at.
they're only gonna be on this side, on the south side. There'll only be doors on the south side, overhead doors. Which are on another drawing that you should have been given also.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, That's 4 doors. On the south side of the new building. One's just bigger than the other 3,
Okay,
but that's where the parking lot is. It's on that side.
okay, yeah, planners and stuff like that, yeah, okay.
It's gotta be referred to the county.
There's the,
Yeah,
there's a 4 door to the south side.
okay,
Doesn't need any.
Make more sense to you.
yep. I see it now with the planners in here. It's just,
The shed that's there, what's gonna happen to that?
It's gonna get moved west of the new building, but we don't know exactly where.
Okay,
So,
at some point, show it on there, so,
but yeah, this is a temporary
yeah,
survey. That's all. That's why there's not a new date on it, because it's not finished. Okay, so I want to clarify that.
Let's. That's fine.
it's fine for us.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's, yeah, you just need a resolution just to refer it to the county.
Mm-hmm.
Then we can
then we can finish it up next time.
give you final approval February 1st.
Okay.
So that referred to the county planning board. Since it's on Lake Road, they get a shot at it.
Yeah, I know, you don't have any choice.
So the shed's new location should be on there before the county gets it, right?
Not necessarily.
No. it's a
Okay.
temporary-
It just sits on,
At some point,
it's not in the ground.
The temporary, temporary.
We can move it
structure.
anywhere.
I believe you got approval for that anyway, way back.
Yes,
He went
yeah.
through, got approval for
Yeah.
that, the shed, because it was quite large.
Yeah, it's pretty good size, yeah.
Yeah, when you decide you can move it, you then figure out where you're at, then you can just take the site plan for that.
Oh, yeah,
It's stuff.
we're gonna do a new survey anyway, so I wasn't worried about it.
All right, so we need a motion to refer this to the county planning board.
Second. New day, isn't it?
The motion second, any further discussion? Okay, call the roll, please.
Joe Atkinson.
Aye.
Amy Crandall. Alan Curran.
All right,
Kendall Hopkins.
Aye.
Roxanne Mark.
Aye.
Aye, motion carried, we'll see you next month.
Yes, sir. Everyone, I hope stays well.
You too.
Okay. Thanks, guys.
All right, moving right along. The AR Building Company is 92 Colonial Drive.
Yeah.
PUD amendment, adding residential use to existing PUD.
Hi,
Good evening.
good evening. So I do have some more handouts to add to your work here. Okay. So if you could take one, pass it along. So, hi, everybody. My name is Emily Mitchell. I'm Vice President of Development at the Air Building Company. Just want to say thank you for your time tonight. Appreciate the opportunity to share our project. I'm here with Chauncey Malloy, who's our engineer with Casera. So he can kind of talk more in detail about our site plan that we're proposing tonight. But I did want to give you this handout just to give you a little more background on who we are. So AR Building is a 50-plus-year-old development company. We're based in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. That's where I live. We have a single owner. He has no partners, no investors. So we build everything with our own equity. If you look at the first slide here, you can see where we're located. We have about 9,000 units right now. We're in 10 states with open communities, but we're looking to expand into 6 additional more over the next couple of years, including New York, along with this project in Horse Heads. We're also working on one in New Hartford, and another one in Henrietta. Both of those are kind of at the same stage in the entitlement process. But most of our communities are in the Pittsburgh region because that's where we started out, and we have a lot in New England as well. But you can see that we're spread out throughout the country. We hold all of our projects per portfolio, so we're not a developer that will come in and like entitle a project or construct it and then sell it off. No, we keep them. So we know that going into the design and construction phase, we use sound design principles, good quality materials, because we know we're responsible for that long-term maintenance. We also build, buy, and manage all of our projects. So we acquire the land and entitle it, which is what we're doing now. But we build the projects, so we have a construction division that will act as our general contractor. This really ensures that we can adhere to high quality standards, because again, we're going to own it for the long term. And then we manage it. So we don't have like a third party management company. We have a staff. Each of our communities has a full-time management office, and that staff works directly for us. So I'll be your main point of contact. Any questions that come up now during construction, or even once it's up and running, you can always reach out to me. I work directly for the president of the company, construction division, and the operations staff and the management. They work for us. So if I can't answer your question immediately, I can at least figure it out.
If you go to the next slide, I just wanted to show you some examples of some of our projects. I'm showing 4-story apartments here because those are our most recent projects, but what we're proposing is a 2-story development. But I wanted to show you these because you can kind of get a sense of our fit and our finish. We use a lot of brick, white siding, AZEK trim, because we find that these, one, I think they look good, they look sharp, but they also, we can maintain them very well over the time. So these are just a couple of projects. Like I said, we're in New England, so the Reynolds Farm on the left is in North Kingstown, Rhode Island. That's about a 180 unit project. Evergreen Apartments is right outside of Monroeville. That opened in June of 2022. It's been really successful for us. And then the other one on the bottom right there is in New London, Connecticut. That's where we kind of really started to branch out into New England. And then if you look at the next slide, I just wanted to show you a couple examples of our interiors. You can see a typical living, typical kitchen. We do try to have a balcony or patio for all of our units because we find that our residents really enjoy that outdoor space, but it also helps break out the elevations once you see our facades. And then I'm showing on the upper right a community room because most of our projects and what we're proposing here is a clubhouse. So our clubhouse will have that community room, just a gathering place for the residents, but it will also have full-time management office, a fitness room and a pool, which you'll see on our site plan. That's about it. I mean, that's kind of just an intro on AR. I just wanted to share a little bit about ourselves because I know we're coming in from Pittsburgh. Haven't really met us yet. Our site, what we're proposing tonight is to add residential to an existing PUD. Our site is a 20-acre site at 92 Colonial Drive. We're proposing 200 units in 25 8-story buildings with a mix of 1 and 2 bedrooms. What we're proposing is all market rate apartments.
This eats up all the land that's left, right?
Yes, we're utilizing the whole site. You can see our conceptual plan here. When you look at the engineered drawings, it's slightly different. I think we changed the pool and the clubhouse location a little bit because there is a sewer easement that runs up the site. But basically, essentially it's the same. So these are 25 8-unit buildings. They're 2 stories. It's about 20 feet to the eave. We're arranging them in just a residential street here with the buildings facing each other. The buildings don't have a front or the back. The front and the back look the same. So no matter what view you're getting, it's not like you're looking at the back of the building. And then basically we kind of have them go on a central green space, which I think helps meet the requirements of the PUD, the amount of green spaces that is required, but that's also a great amenity for our residents. And I think kind of gives us a central gathering space. And then we're proposing a second entrance out here. If you look at the last slide there, you'll see the types of buildings that we're proposing. So again, these are 2 stories, so about 20 feet to the eave. Again, we're using that brick and white siding. We're using the gables and the balconies and stuff to kind of break up this facade so it feels more residential in scale.
This should look well with the existing building. The Army building is brick and white, and so it would blend nicely.
Perfect. Great, yeah. I mean, we don't always use the same buildings everywhere. We do try to fit within the context, especially when we're looking at our site plan and what kind of buildings we'll be using there. I think that is essentially kind of an overview, but I'm happy to answer any questions. And then again, Chauncey can answer probably more technical questions than I can.
The roadway is private.
Yes,
You're
that
not
would be.
Supposing to.
Mhm.
Okay.
So there's going to be some delineation in that back corner when it goes to private. Because the road dead ends with the T on it.
Right, yeah, what
What?
theoretically, what we're gonna need is a turnaround. Just before it enters up on that end,
So right here, you.
Basically where the-
It'll be like a hammerhead or something so that we can get our plow back around.
Well, if they're gonna connect it out of the road, you gotta connect it out of the road for fire department, right? Because if you have. You
Yeah.
have the main area where the houses are coming off of Colonial Drive blocked off with fire equipment and you need to get an ambulance into the
No.
back.
It's that, hold on,
Robert,
this is gonna be a private road
Yeah, yeah. The municipal road's gonna just end.
and.
Back
right
there.
we
now,
just can't
Robert, Robert.
It's gonna drive
or
through.
Rommel Drive is
It's,
town road.
Yeah,
it's just,
but we still don't wanna consider two entrances.
No, we have
they
to,
will be.
Yeah, okay.
but they have to have a place for the truck, the plow trucks to not go through.
Yeah.
Because
Oh,
In their
okay,
private
okay,
area.
all right, I see what you're saying,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah,
To make sure I understand, we would still have the connection, but we just do like. a
Yes.
head here or something.
we'll just
so you
do a
can turn
hammerhead
around.
of some sort so that the truck can turn
Okay,
and not go through you. Plus, we'll have you talk to the highway superintendent because you sort of got to make sure that they don't plow you in.
yeah, we don't want that. And I mean, if it's easier, we can give the roads to the city.
So how that works, yeah.
So would the town be interested in making this dedicated through here, so it's a
The
loop?
town would not be interested in making that.
Okay.
Because that will then take away all your parking and force you to put in parking lots. So you don't want it, I would assume, and neither do we.
Oh, you can't have front end parking
No.
off the street.
and then you gotta build the road to the town specs and our
You know,
28-foot wide road carriage and.
That's the last.
and and the specs are state specs for building the road. You don't want it.
I mean, that's fine, as long as we can handle the issue with the
Yeah,
turnaround.
yeah, the other
We'll
issue won't
pause
be
it.
a big issue, right?
Okay.
But it will just get Marty involved to say how he wants it, so that, again, we don't push you in.
Who is that contact?
Marty Vanderhoff.
Marty Vanderhoff is the town highway superintendent.
Because they're outside of the area and everything like that, could they contact, I assume the Arnet owns that and
Oh,
take
well,
over the property that's next to it
Yeah,
and work with them to maybe buy a little bit of land right there to create your turnaround.
no,
Whatever.
Yeah, but I
No,
think we can probably.
They can,
fit
there's
it.
ways around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
we'll just put it.
Cause at one time they were gonna.
Yeah, I
develop
forget we
that.
want to talk to her.
Yeah.
No,
Okay,
And we'll work with Marty and
yeah,
figure out what's needed.
So is the travel width of the road 2 cars wide?
Yeah, it will be
Yeah.
a 2-lane road. I
Probably
believe,
like 24 feet, probably.
I think we're
22,
showing 24 right now.
24,
Yeah.
oh, the interior road, yeah.
Actually, some of the roads are 26 wide,
Oh, yeah.
feet wide, because where we need to put fire hydrants.
Okay.
especially around
26 feet
radiuses
wide
and
there.
stuff like that, you're gonna want a little wider
Is this a phased project?
So what we typically do is we'll put in the site work and then we'll start building a few buildings at a time and then kind of roll our subs along the way. We're not thinking about it and we'll do like this first and then this first.
You just kind of-
We just kind of
Yeah.
roll throughout,
All right.
yeah.
All right. I got probably some questions for the site itself,
Uh-huh.
couple things. Maybe reproach anybody in getting water.
So yes, we've been talking about the water. There is.
Talking about water supply. Oh,
Correct.
okay.
Yeah,
So there's a water main that comes up here
Mhm.
and has a stub down here. There's also a water main that came up here and stubbed.
oh,
Up
really?
here.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's, Arna did that when they put their.
yeah,
project in.
because they were gonna do something with that back section,
Correct, yeah.
right?
And from what we understand, there is a project going in that will bring a main along Colonial Drive as well.
Because that Big Flats water is
Yeah, there's two different
water,
waters.
yeah. There's Big Flats water. At the end of your property there is down to Big Flats.
No,
Right here.
Right there.
no, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's
From here.
Town
we're
Big
big
Flats.
flats.
Right.
Yes, correct.
So,
This is the armory up there.
Yeah.
So our plan right now, what we're looking at is
Village of
potentially completing a loop here. and then having the water come off of that loop to service the.
Is there an easement through there?
There is. Yeah, right through here. So this has actually been. Altered a little to. Accommodate the easement. Sorry, these drawings aren't gonna be as
Right,
colorful,
Right, we don't.
but
Oh, you can see it here. You go back, you can see it. The regular plan, the front page. And the other big set.
In here.
So there's an easement that runs right through here, which is why. You know, the original concept showed the pool and everything here. That had to be rotated over here. So there's a sewer line that comes down through here, a water stub up there. We would have to create an easement, you know, we complete that. Water main loop,
Okay,
an easement has to be created for that.
with that, all of the drainage for that project, or that whole property runs back to Barrington West. If you, I don't know. if you
You're
guys-
saying it runs back here?
Yeah, it
There
runs,
and over the
yeah.
other end.
and, this is going back 20 years, when they were developing, Barrington West, there was issues with drainage there, so we've got to look at that real close.
There is on Colonial too, because Corning Credit Union still has trouble with
No, this was
water
because the whole Donald project drained through
back.
the backside of Barrington West.
So, and visiting the site and looking at it, I mean, it is a fairly flat site.
Right,
And we'll have,
But
actually,
it
the
does-
survey crew starts tomorrow.
They were out there today.
What's that?
They were out there today.
Oh, were they out there
Yep.
today? That's right, they start today. The wetland delineation will start tomorrow.
Mhm.
So we're aware that there is potentially a wetland right over here on this corner.
Mm,
It's a flat site. We know that, you know, drainage will definitely have to be looked at. The survey is started today. The guys to look at the wetlands will be out tomorrow, although they can't really delineate it until spring. But they're gonna go out and look and give us a good idea of where that is.
so water comes out the backside, and also there's dry wells and a pipe on Barrington West that carries all that water. You'll see it when everything goes north and then it goes east.
That goes east.
So,
Yeah, that ground, even though it is relatively flat, does pitch for the back of the property.
Yeah, from what I understand, this corner right here.
No,
dives down.
even all the way across that. I was out, I parked on the Hammerhead today, and was looking out across through there. And it slopes gradually to the,
I just want to make you aware of it because,
I would assume Jimmy Jones would be involved in
yeah,
this.
because he walked that with me 10 years ago. We had some water issues coming off the site, and I was a code official for all that up there, so I remember that we had some water issues. Just to give you a heads up. So if you hear anybody, you know, throwing the flag on it, or just so you're aware of it, so you can make sure you're on it. And
Absolutely.
so,
Appreciate it.
because I think there's a catch basin for the unit
Yes, there's a dry,
on there. That's
Right
probably
next to
hasn't been
Hammerhead.
maintained well.
You're staying over in this area?
Yeah.
yep, right there, that dark spot there.
Yeah.
Is a, right next to where you were circling,
But there's
That's
basically a
a-
pond right here.
Right, that
the
was a-
detention pond, yeah,
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's part of the audit. You might want to talk with the Chemung County Soil and Water when you get into that. Part of where you're looking at that type of thing, because they're gonna be very much involved in this.
okay.
We're MS4 community, so.
So who's the MS4 for the community?
Our stormwater officer is our code enforcement officer, but we have a county team that. Engineer who will review that for compliance for the
Okay.
speedies.
Yeah, and we definitely will prepare a SWIP for this and look at all the stormwater.
Before you get. Too far along, you might want to meet with Jimmy Joe Carl, Chemung County Stormwater Coalition. He's the engineer for them.
You said Jimmy Joe Carl,
right? He's
it's a county stormwater.
just a county stormwater engineer. He does all of our reviews.
Perfect.
You can get their number right online.
So you already addressed water, sewer capacity.
So we've been in touch with the county sewer district. They said there aren't any issues.
No issues, good. And it's a county road there, so you'll check with them on road access. I think it's always been planned that there was gonna be another access coming on your drive. Anyway, so
There is, yeah.
what's that?
Yeah, no, they're, yeah, they're,
Originally, it was
The
supposed to be a
last- yeah.
U shape
the
anyway.
last one was, yeah.
Right.
It was-
Anything but else. It's a PUD, so.
Mhm.
And they're aware of almost pretty much everything out there.
What'd you-
Everything will come through this board, then it'll recommend to the town board will make the final amendment to the plan of development. And, you know, we got, I don't know that we did it in the original resolution, but we have to have the town board name itself, the lead agency under seeker, and we'll get the letters and stuff out with regard to that.
Is there one meeting with this board and then it goes to the town board or there?
All meetings basically are with this board.
Okay,
And then it becomes a recommendation once everything's in a package. And then it goes to the town board will call the public hearing for the amendment and then pass it, then it comes back to this board for handling the final development plan, so.
So just to make sure we're clear, once you guys are ready to approve it, you know, we've worked through the whole process. Then it goes to the town board to approve the amendment to the PUD.
Yeah, this board will recommend to the town board,
Yeah.
right?
And if they approve that amendment,
It
does it
comes
come back to
back-
this board right away? Or do you
It
wait
comes
till
back to this board immediately for the final stuff, so.
So I imagine though, once it goes to the town board, it's gonna have a public hearing
Yeah,
and go through the process of making a change to the code.
yes,
Would we be able to get a conditional approval while it goes through that process, or wait until it goes all the way through that process before coming back to this board?
well, I mean, that's. I don't know what you mean by a conditional approval. You'll get a recommendation from this board.
Well, I mean,
This board will deal with the site plan and deal with all those issues. The town board is just dealing with the rezoning,
correct.
the amendment to the rezoning at that point in time.
So I guess I'm talking about the final site plan approval from this board,
It'll come to this board, yes.
come back after they.
After they approve, then it'll come to this board and then between this board and the code office, that'll all move along.
Relatively quickly.
It's quickly, yeah,
I mean, once we get it all figured out, it's just gonna be, they're just gonna need to rubber stamp it.
I don't
to get it
charge by
back down
the
to
hour,
us.
so we just get them done.
sounds good.
All right.
Yeah, I think this is a great location, no matter who you are, whether you're younger or seniors. Having a health facility right across the street for doctors and physical therapy if you have a sports injury, a bank right. I think grocery stores are 2 miles away. I mean, I think it's a good location.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we look for sites all over the country and
School is
we're
close.
thrilled to find this site. We think it's great for apartments.
Yeah.
So we'll deal with the final development plan. And the public hearing can be before that, yeah.
Yes. Yeah,
So
the public hearing will be at the town board level.
Right.
So that'll be all done. And I don't think we need any public hearing on seeker or anything for this, not
We're gonna
from what's around there.
we're gonna do long form and short.
Probably better get
Long
the
form.
long form with the EAF part when we have.
Right.
Do the long.
There's got a lot of things going on there.
And,
It's in the acreage.
we had a. I guess we never got that far, though, did we, with that other project that came in, that was all residential, all apartments for this area? I don't,
No,
apparently didn't get,
Down Hickory Grove Road, no, that,
no, here,
oh.
on this site, we had another proposal. But I don't think it involved the whole parcel, though, I think it was more back here. At that point in time, but I don't think we got to. We got a recommendation to the recommendation out of this board and to the approval on the other, so.
That must've been a long time ago.
Good. It's been a while since we've had any type of new residential development.
How big square footage are the apartments?
So the one bedrooms are around like 750 square feet, and then the two bedrooms about 1,000.
Okay.
What is there a going rate, rental rate?
Yeah, I mean, by the time this gets under construction, it's gonna change, so I hesitate to put it out there, but it's probably gonna be
Average.
around like 1,500, 1,600. We'll see how the market goes when we get out there.
Let's check.
All you do is borrow people from other stuff. Put them into
Put them
this.
in there.
Yeah,
It's a vicious cycle.
yeah, you don't, we're not creating any new people.
Well,
Or you
maybe
get-
this will bring some in.
Maybe.
No. At least you're on this end of the thing, that's where you get the
Mhm.
Corning people out of it, you get the
Right.
Corning people down there.
Okay.
So that's where, because they're always looking.
Mhm.
Good, so the next thing is they gotta. And look this up. I gotta get all the information for. The preliminary proposal, correct?
Yep,
Gotta get all that. So we can move on. Number of PUD 204-87 or we need the preliminary proposal,
What was that?
preliminary proposal.
20487.
Yeah. Meet all those requirements. This is more of a pre-application conference with us today.
Okay.
Get the preliminary proposal. And. Probably the statement of intent, right? Get those two and then we can send it to the town board for public hearing.
Yeah, somebody did, I just didn't.
You know, all our zones online anyway, like, right about that.
Alright, well, we should be- I'll do that pretty quickly here.
Anything else, Alan? Been vacant a long time, been vacant.
Oh, yeah, well, yeah, I think Delvin will expect it to go fairly quickly, but.
Never
Be
did.
in the
it was
proximity,
Just.
proximity to the highway and all that, of course, then they deal with the ramp in
Yeah, it was
after
just
that.
Verizon went in
The back
quick
road.
and then finally Arnett and Corning. It didn't,
Good, so just keep going and getting the stuff for the next meeting. For the preliminary proposal and statement of intent.
Okay.
Get all that, and then we can start going back to the town board, get their PUD amendment, then you can back to us for the final development plan.
All right.
When would we have to reach out to the other municipalities, all that type of thing?
Uh,
That'd be the town.
Town board, if they would refer to the county. And
State, Big Flats.
Big Flats and maybe the village, might not be within 500 feet of the village. It might not be, I don't think it is.
No, but
The village is on the other side of Sing Sing Road. So I think we're okay there.
you have the state, county, state, Big Flats.
The state gives our agenda every month anyway, so if they got any issues, they usually get hold of us. So it won't be-
Shouldn't have anything there,
it
but
won't
I
be,
just,
it won't be a coordinated review. Coordinated. From secret, I believe, so. Welcome, thank you.
All right, well, thank you. I really appreciate the preliminary feedback, so see you shortly.
Could have done it first, so you can sit here the whole.
No,
time.
actually, I wanted to hear that, and I was just gonna ask, you, does anybody have one of my business cards that I can give to them, because they're the landscaper.
That's right.
Yeah, they'll want to get to know you. It's great.
Randy, come on up. Good evening.
Good evening.
Again. Are you asking for rezoning,
I'm asking for rezoning.
or do you want to ask for an extension of the Ag and Hill zone into the residence area?
That's what I'm asking for.
Is this the same one that we didn't rezone years ago?
It is.
Do we,
So what do you,
So
you want it rezoned or? Cause it,
two different ways to do this.
yeah,
Well, want to do what's easy.
good answer.
What is the reasoning behind this?
Well, so the number one reason, I came into the code enforcement office to ask for a building permit to put up a antique barn that I bought, and he told me that I couldn't, the way that it's zoned right now, I couldn't put the barn where I wanted to put it. But he recommended that I file to have an extension of the Ag and Hill zone zoning extended to the road. And he said that would be the easiest way for me to go about building the building that I want to put up.
One way is ask for rezoning. The second way is go to the zoning board of appeals. There's a section in our code that allows us to extend a lease.
that's under general provisions, right?
I think so, that you can extend a less restrictive zoning district into another district. In other words, your property's got two zoning districts on it, you can extend it to, like we did, I believe.
We did it for.
We did my other
We
property.
did,
Yes.
yeah, we did it at that greenhouse.
No.
No, up
we did,
on Breezeport.
Breezeport
Road.
Road.
Yeah.
Yep. So I answered part of that question. You asked me what was the reason. So that was the number one reason. And then when I got really looking, because when I was here that day, I said, well, that's already been done. I thought that all of my properties were approved years ago. But he went in the basement, he pulled up papers and he said, well, this one was done and this one was done, but this one was denied. So he
Remember
showed
your
me,
neighbors?
yeah, so he showed me the neighbor's letter and all that stuff. We're not talking about over by I mean, it is the same parcel, it is the same piece of ground, but nothing is happening over there by my neighbor, right? I don't want to deal with any of that stuff. This is right by my house.
Okay,
This is right in my front yard, basically. So what I had said to him was, I just don't understand why it's not Ag and Hill anyhow. I've got Christmas trees planted right to the edge of the road, it's right to the, to where they mow. So if they mowed any farther, they'd be mowing down the Christmas trees. So to have it zoned for what it's being used for, just makes
makes
proper
sense.
sense.
Yeah.
The only thing is with that, what you're using it for now, the only thing is in future type of. If you ever wanted to develop those into subdivision into parcels for that type of thing, I mean,
Yeah,
not necessarily you,
not me,
but
yep, somebody down the road.
somebody down the road wants to come up through there and put housings all the way up through there. We'd have
They'd to come back
issues,
and-
we'd have issues with that.
Well, they rezone it.
Yes, they just have to come back.
And the thing is too, is in looking at the maps. Pretty much any place where there are roads is residential A.
Correct.
I mean, so this is, I don't wanna start something that we're gonna have to live with. We set a precedence
Mhm.
to something like this. by, you know, he got it. Why can't I get it? And there's a lot of farmers that,
Yeah, there's fewer and fewer every day.
yeah, but their properties all go up to that
I
type
get
of thing and.
I don't know, do we have any working farms in the town?
There's
Oh,
very few,
boys,
Huh?
boys.
very few.
Yeah.
Bores,
Man,
you know,
Yeah, yeah, but-
Gene Stowe, you know, for what they're still doing there.
Yeah,
You know, myself, I'm not a cattle farmer, but,
Ag,
yep, I'm,
ag use, let's put it that way. But, you know, that would be my biggest concern is to set a precedence.
All the problem is this is property. He's not selling it. He's already using it for, agriculture anyway, because he's got his Christmas trees there.
Right,
It probably makes sense.
so I guess my point, I guess years ago, right? So it's been a Christmas tree farm since 1931 that I have records of.
Right.
And you know, it's always been used for that. That's what I'm currently using it for. I've got Christmas trees this tall that I plant every year. So, you know, I have no plans today or really in my lifetime of me changing it. Now, who knows what happens when I'm gone? But,
but your house and
Intent.
stuff like that pretty much sits back far enough off the road that it's not even in the residential.
He's
that-
making him,
yeah,
250 feet back.
no, it's just
Yeah.
250 or 500.
250, I believe.
250.
I think that's what Greg told me.
Mhm.
Some of that area up there is 250, some is 5.
Okay, I'm not
yeah,
sure.
250 out there,
Right.
yeah. And when it gets closer into the populated areas, we catch.
I think at the other side of town, it's 500 up Oak Hill and up there through there, I think. All right. So we. ZBA.
So we handle it, we handle it as a recommendation to the zoning board of appeals.
Mhm.
Do we have to recommend the whole section or can we recommend
Parcel.
the partial building site area?
Well,
You know, I mean, a relative,
Yep,
you would probably say 1,247 feet of. Your property on. Bannister Road, right?
yep. So I was gonna say, it could simply be stated, you know, because of your concern is East Fargo Road. And what happens over there.
Right.
Yeah, it simply could be labeled as the Fargo Road portion. Or, you know, we need the footage,
Right.
you know, that's,
Mhm.
I mean, I don't know where exactly where you're putting your barn, you know. the
yeah,
barn
it's
is-
basically right there in my front yard. I don't
Yeah.
think you have something that shows my house, but.
It's.
Well,
uh,
I was up there today.
This is
What's the
actually
bar gonna be used for?
right now,
So right now I have a shed that's there.
and then,
And that shed will be removed from the property.
250 back. to the residence.
And it's gonna take place of that shed. So we build wreaths in there and display cut Christmas trees.
Okay,
Years ago, they made all the roads within 250 feet or 500, let's just say. Some roads.
Every road, in the town of Warsaw has had some.
when they were citing the landfill in the county. My father was a county attorney citing the
I would
landfill. He was also
just
county.
minimize as much as we can
They
do,
decided that they were not
so
gonna
that they
put
don't-
landfill near. any
because this down here
residential
is not really gonna be
So he
developable
rezoned
anyway, because
all
it's got that
property
pond and
on the roadways.
and all that type of thing.
residential,
So that would be the
to
boundary.
Make sure it
Could
didn't
you
reside
never
in
have
the
it in
town of Horse.
Where the two roads come together.
So there's no purpose, there's no purpose for it.
Right.
It really shouldn't be there,
Yeah.
And the way.
not be there everywhere, let's put it that
We're
way.
gonna make some people with horses.
Here, he just confirmed my sketch here. You guys want to pass around, that's what he's looking for, how to divide it up.
Yeah.
The dotted line would be the boundary between the two.
So would
He
there
just-
be a case to remove that?
Your turn.
I don't think so.
He just looked at it, and that would be how we would,
Since
the
that's
dotted
not
line
an
is
issue
what
anymore,
it is what it
to
says.
remove
Oh, yeah, to
it.
rezone, yeah, to
Yeah.
rezone those areas.
Take it off, because that just creates issues.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah, you'd have to look, you'd have to look, you go up toward, you go up some of the roads and you got 12 or 8 houses along the way, you'd keep those in a resident,
Right, right.
so.
But I mean, in this case, I mean, it's, it only makes sense.
No, it probably does at this point in time. Especially,
Let's be sensible.
because of the way, the reason it was done is gone.
Right.
So we can just get this thing approved tonight then.
Well.
Not us.
We gotta make a recommendation.
This is the government.
We gotta make a recommendation to the zoning board of appeals.
All right.
What-
So is there something that I need to
This
do?
isn't on the county road, though, right?
No,
No, so we don't have to bother with them.
no, so we need a recommendation to, not rezone, but extend the agricultural hill zone.
Not zone,
The
the use, yeah,
The use as agricultural now, right?
yes,
So you're saying extend Ag Hill use,
yes.
and that's what we're referring to the ZBA.
Is that what it's?
Yeah, we've done this before. There's some,
We want to include that sketch that shows the line we're looking at. Because that one there, you know, looking for all of it.
Yeah, just,
That is the portion, Tom.
Yeah.
Do you want me to make copies, Tom?
I already drew a cut one on mine. Who's this?
Okay.
George? I just drew a diagonal line right off.
Just perfect, doesn't it?
This, that would be
You
the
know, it's
extending that use in the residence area.
So Randy, if that's where you're displaying Christmas
talk to
trees
Brian.
and stuff, do you have a parking area there?
There's not, so it's all road parking, it's what it's always been, yeah. So you know, a lot of the issues years ago was people parking over there. So
Mhm.
now that my house is built, the shed that's there that we use now as our little sales office.
Mhm.
Everyone comes, there, honestly, no one cut a tree on Bannister Road this year, or on Fargo Road this year. Not one single tree was cut over there.
Wow.
Now, what I've more turned that into is I'm digging trees over there for landscape jobs. So when these people need their landscaping done, I'll sell them trees from over there.
If it works, good.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
So,
hopefully
so,
they will
you
deal
know,
with
the
it.
traffic that was over there years ago really isn't
Mhm.
anymore.
yeah, we haven't done that in years,
You know,
cut down a tree.
well, next year could be your.
No, last time I cut down a tree, don't know what kind of tree it was, don't know what it was, brought it home, put it up. My wife ended up in the hospital.
Oh, large.
She couldn't breathe and stuff. So then we didn't know what it was. She was fine, and she came home, couldn't breathe again, figured out it was a tree. Don't know if it was the type of tree, don't know if maybe what it was.
Yeah.
It had, but that's the last time we ever had a tree.
So you have to look for one with a bird's nest in it, because then you can have good luck.
Yeah,
That always brings.
yeah, or you bring home the squirrel with the.
All right, so we need a motion. Make a positive recommendation to the zoning board of appeals. To extend the Ag and Hill use into the residence A. Zoning district. For the
What he said, so moved.
1,247
Second.
linear feet of Fargo Road. Second,
Amy seconded it.
oh, I'm sorry,
Oh, Amy, yeah.
I dozed off on this.
I'll
say it louder next time.
All right, any further discussion? Call the roll, please.
Joe Atkinson.
Aye.
Amy Crandall. Alan Curran.
Aye.
Angela Hawken. Roxanne Mark.
Aye.
Aye, so you'll need to fill out a ZBA application. Zoning board of appeals, and that way, the right paperwork's in place.
I get that from Greg.
Yeah.
Okay.
There he is, right there.
Hi, Greg.
Oh, Greg is there.
All right, so yeah,
Will
we
they,
gotta do the ZBA paperwork so we can. Get that going, so we got the right paperwork.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thanks. Thank you.
Yeah, have a good evening.
Bye-bye.
All righty.
I think that's it. Board members. I was asked if I know who would like a laptop or a similar device to use.
Sure.
Call your brother and have him call me.
Go.
Tell my brother to call
Yeah,
you.
you and your brother call me.
Sure.
To use that for planning board. And get rid of all the papers. Everything will be online. Everybody be open to that.
You think you need it, they're thinking about it.
Then that way they can throw the GIS on there, the code book. Any other thing we want to throw on there, the reference material, whatever. Well, I'll tell Steve what everybody would like.
That's pretty much what I'm doing with mine here. I've got the code, I'm right now, I'm looking at the zoning map, you know. For Bargo Road and
Right.
Bennington.
Hey, so instead of getting a piece of paper here, that way you know where the stuff's at. And I use my old iPad from work, so that's,
Be able to zoom in on them and stuff like that, type of thing.
they would probably give you, would they give you an email address? I'm not sure. That way they can send everything to you. I'm not sure how they do that. Or district, what you say?
Like how many feet away?
Share
drive or something.
Yeah,
No.
Okay.
No, the thing is too, if we get
Oh.
foiled right now, everybody's got all their email and their personal. I don't know about you guys, but I've got my Outlook organized so that anything that comes through the planning board, I can immediately go to it. But if you're just using your personal email and we get foiled, you're gonna
Yeah.
have,
Yeah.
you're gonna have
yeah,
a tough time finding everything you want.
Yeah, that would become
A nightmare.
a nightmare, is right.
All right. Anything else for the good of the order?
Did you guys all get the save the date for the conference? April,
No, corny.
yeah,
I did not.
April 6th. Is the up at Corning. And if I can remember it, I will try to remember to forward it all to you guys or whatever.
I think I got it too. Wait a minute, I might be able
Next one.
The motion to adjourn.
So, yeah.
I said. Opposed? The holding point, no,